call a meeting to order. You would please stand for a flag salute and a moment of silence. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Yep. Roll call, please.
Dr. Baldino,
Here.
Mr. Cannon,
Here.
Whoa.
Ms. Donahue,
Here.
Mr. Elling, Mr. Johnson,
Here.
Mr. Knopf,
Here.
Ms. Lynch,
Here.
Mr. Scaff,
Here.
Ms. Smith. Here. 8 members present.
Okay. How many visitors signed up? No visitors. We'll start with reports of committee. C1 Policy Committee, I think it's the only one that met.
Yeah, we had a policy committee meeting yesterday. And we got caught up on a lot of more or less old stuff that's been sitting dormant. And moved a lot of things to first read to come up next month. That's it.
Oh, short and sweet, I like that. What's that?
Are we gonna pull items or go through the whole
We
thing?
haven't got that for you.
Oh, okay, just curious. Sorry.
She's eager.
Patience, my dear, patience.
She's eager.
Okay. We have information on Hope and Roger gets here pretty soon. So, we have. Now we can start pulling stuff. Anyone like any make motions to move the agenda?
I'd like to make a motion to move all of section D. Start with that.
So you're moving the entire agenda,
D1 through 9.
D1 through 9.
Yeah.
Do we have a second for D1 for 9?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any questions about D1 through 9? Go ahead,
Yes.
Elizabeth.
Yes, I'd like to pull D1, 2, and 9.
1, 2, and what?
Chris?
She said 1 and 2, correct?
1, 2, and 9.
And 9. I'd also like to pull D8.
Okay. So we're gonna pull D1, 2, 8, and 9. So we're moving 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 on here.
Yes,
I
there's-
know,
It's
Eastern
locked.
Central Emergency Operation Plan.
No, it's not on mine. That's weird.
Yes, Randy had something he was gonna say on that.
Okay, it's just not showing up on my agenda.
Oh, should we pull it then? I'm ready.
So
Okay, we'll go ahead and we'll pull that too.
we're gonna pull 7
Oh,
also.
okay.
Yeah, we'll pull 7 also.
Okay, so we have a motion for 3, 4, 5, 6.
Thank you. Mhm, good.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, passed. Then we're gonna have a motion for D1, which we said.
So moved.
We have a motion for D1 student handbook, and we have a second.
Second.
Any questions on D1 student handbook?
Yes.
Go ahead, Chris, you were first.
I don't agree with what we discussed last week, removing the rules and what those rules are and just putting the word expectations in. Because you have to live life with rules. You can't tell a state trooper later on, well, you expected me to do the speed limit, but I didn't want to. Sorry, you have to have rules and there has to be consequences. And that's how kids learn. If they don't learn rules from a young age and up through till the time they're on their own, to live under expectations just doesn't cut it. I'm totally against removing in the few sections that were in there, the rules and what they are. We absolutely need to have those rules in there. Kids can't learn if there are none. That's it.
Elizabeth?
It just, I just wanted to share this, and I did hear what Chris had to say, and I actually, I do agree with him. But this may help for 2026. Curriculum committee used to review it. They did July 19th, 2022, and May 16th, 2023, and then for some reason it was taken off the curriculum committee in 24, and I'm assuming it didn't go to 2025, because we were expressed, I heard last time, that it doesn't go to the curriculum committee. Well, it used to go to. So, be that as it may, 2026, there's some things that might be tweaked during a curriculum committee meeting. So be that as it may, this is what we have, the students need, the parents need it ASAP at the 11th hour.
Anyone else? If not, I'm gonna comment. I'm not in favor of the senior high handbook not having removal of hats in the building, hoods in the building, and being allowed to use cell phones. We've been talking for years about doing away with cell phones. I think it's time we do away with cell phones and earbuds and electronic devices that distract from school and cause issues. My reasoning with the hats and the hoods, we're spending a lot of money on security issues and throughout the schools. And with the hats and hoods on, it could make it difficult to identify someone through the camera systems. So that's my problem with it. So anyone else have anything?
I'd just like to say I agree with both you and Chris on what you guys said. So
I do too.
Anyone else have a comment? We get a roll call vote now. Sorry,
And
go ahead, Elizabeth.
so I just want to say that since there's no time to really do anything about it this right now, I am supporting it because the teachers need it, the principals need it. But there's no time to do anything about those things right now.
I couldn't hear a word you said.
I'm so
you gotta
sorry.
hear mine.
I just said, I support what I heard at the table here today, but because we have no time to do anything about this really. And the teachers and the parents, everybody needs the handbook out ASAP.
Mhm.
So I'm not gonna stop it in any way, shape or form. I've said my piece. Thank you.
I have a question. How complicated would it be to just correct those couple things? Because I as well agree with both Chris and what Butch said. So how complicated would it be to just correct those things and then we can get it approved as soon as possible?
The language between rules and expectations, it seems relatively simple, although as was explained last week, we're trying to remain consistent with our PBIS system. So we're using consistent language with our students across the board. And so that we'll have to rethink a few things on how we're doing that. In terms of the hats and phones and earbuds and that sort of thing, that will take a much longer conversation with our secondary staff and students and parents about their thoughts on that one. I don't think that's an easy. The first one isn't uncomplicated. The second one is far more complicated to make a change to.
Well, I know last year, I don't know, I can't remember if it was in the handbook or not, or if it was something that we changed throughout the year, but the cell phone usage was supposed to be phones are off and away. I think we had this conversation multiple times. I use my daughter as an example. So I don't know, is that something that we changed this year, or was that something that did we not change it last year and just made it in the middle of the year, cell phones need to be off and away?
I don't recall precisely. My understanding is that has been the expectation and continues to be the expectation in the middle schools and in the elementary schools. Randy, if
Yeah, and if you look on page 40 of the high school handbook, it does state that the electronic devices must be turned off prior to entering instructional areas. So unless an instructor specifically says we're going to do a survey on the screen through a PowerPoint, 'cause there's a lot of multiple instructional tools that they can answer and provide immediate results so they can see, like if they're doing like a practice quiz, there's tools that they can answer the quiz on the screen and they get to see how everybody does that. So that would be an instructional use, but they are, like I said, there is a level of a cell phone ban in instructional areas. So it's not a pervasive usage. That's what's on page 40. There's not a 100% ban is not what's in there. So.
And just, if I could, if you
Yeah,
don't mind.
please.
I understand that. I know it's up to interpretation by the teacher, whether they're gonna use it in class,
Mm.
but every student has a laptop that they can do the same thing.
Bingo.
They don't need the phone.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking the
That's what I was
phones a lot of time are distractions, and we have a lot of leeway from teacher A versus teacher B to teacher C of how it's being implemented.
Right.
If we can come out and tell all their teachers, the only time it's gonna be used is, I think it's allowed in the hallway.
Mhm.
But
Lunchtime.
that's, in the hallway, I think is another issue, because that's where we have a lot of our problems with
Yeah.
students videotaping things that we shouldn't have happen in the school.
Mhm.
So if we had a total ban, it wouldn't be videotaped and put on Facebook that, student A got punched by student B.
Mhm.
So things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So, but if we're gonna continue with what we're doing now, we have to make sure we ensure that our teachers are using the policy and not allowing kids to walk around or sitting to class with their earbuds in, listening to music and playing games on their phone during instructional time.
Right.
So
And-
I personally would like to see them done away with.
Yeah.
I think this, when I've been reading a lot,
Mhm.
different states are looking at banning them in school. I think we need to look at doing that. As far as the hoods and the hats, I think it's a safety issue we have to really consider.
Yeah, and just to speak
agree
on
with-
all of that, I'm not dismissing that fact and there are valid points. The issue will be a shift this time in the game creates a lot of things, even the hoods and hats kind of shift because it's a cultural thing. So we have to, further discussions are warranted. That's not a point of dispute. We definitely could have future discussions. It's just at this point in the game, how you change the conditioning of that in one fell swoop on the first day of school will be a very difficult lift.
Isn't it in the elementary and middle school handbook, no hoods and no hats?
The middle school, it's not.
I know the elementary is,
Yeah, the middle school, it's not.
I missed it.
So,
but yeah, I thought it was elementary, okay. Chris, you had something?
It's obvious there's a lot of controversy and confusion here over this. So I would say, why don't, because school starts in a week,
Mhm.
why don't we use the same book we did last year? And let's work on this as a team throughout however long it takes. When we update it, we could just send out an email to everybody that there's been a few changes. If there are any, point it out to them and ask them to recheck their student handbook. That way we can have some time to work on this. Because I will never change my mind. I don't care if it's PBS, the president or whoever. Kids need rules. That's how they learn. If you don't break a rule and pay a consequence, you'll never know what's right and wrong.
There are, I appreciate that, and I would like to spend time working through this with the board and with the
Mhm.
team that comes up with these. Some of the changes that are in here, I think are necessary to get out to the community, for instance, start and stop times and different personnel and different positions that are in the new version that are not going to be captured in the old version.
Okay, then change them, but leave the stuff that we're talking about as it is. Just change your start times and be done, and we can update this in the next month or two. But at least you can get school started instead of an 11th hour knee jerk.
My question is that if we pass it as is right now,
Mhm.
just to get this, all this information out, is there anything that says that we can't, pass an amendment to this later on?
So it would be going the other way, pass it as is, and then have the conversation you're talking about. and then
Get
make
those
the
things
changes to them.
Organized, yeah.
Yeah, but we all know that once you change something, it's a lot harder to bring it back to where it was. That just never happens. So why can't we make an amendment after we fix it, if you want to do that? Make an amendment and then add whatever changes in it. Once you take something away, you can never, it generally never gets brought back.
I don't know about that.
Well,
But what I'm looking at is just trying to get this taken care of, because there are things in here, and what we have on the agenda tonight is this. Okay, not, oh, let's take this page from this page and keep this
Okay.
page the same. I mean, what we're looking at right now is this is the handbook that we've been presented with. Okay, what I'm suggesting is that, like I said, we pass this, but we are the board. We can make these discussions and get these things changed.
that'll never happen, Roger. I'm sorry, it won't.
I think it could.
Do you believe kids should be told there's no more rules, it's all expectations? Because anybody here that would say, take away the rules, it's all expectations, we all live under rules. That's how the world works.
Well, I still see the expectations as being, look, we expect you to do this. If you don't, this is gonna happen.
You can't do that.
What would be the repercussions if we voted this down tonight? We stick with the one from last year?
That's what I say we should do, and then we can
Have the
make an
floor.
amendment.
Let me get an answer to my question.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't have updated handbooks. And so there's a lot of updated information again about responsibility of staff members. There's some legal changes in there. Would it be critical? No, of course not. Some of the time things we can communicate in other ways. We can say that the handbook has been delayed, and so we can put out information that's the specific things that students need to have access to right away.
The biggest things that need amended are the things we removed, replacing the words rules with expectations. Correct?
Rules with expectations, and you're talking about hats, hoods, cell phones, that sort of.
That's
thing.
gonna be, I don't think that's gonna be an issue for this year. It's something we have to really look at. It has to be worked on.
Yes.
We've been talking about it for the 4 years I've been back on the board. It's
Yep.
never been, really been implemented.
Mhm.
Maybe it's time to do it then.
Yes, Randy?
Just to point out a point of clarification, in the elementary handbooks are the rules on page 21 with the consequences and action steps, just so you see that down there. I don't want it to be like misinformation specifically, because there are, like, if there's disrespect, defiance, the definitions of those, and the action steps that take place if those do occur. So there is a part in that handbook that does talk about all those things specifically. It's just the nomenclature that's up top, that's a little bit different, just to match the PBIS stuff. But the level 2 disciplinary infractions, level 1 disciplinary infractions, 3, and so on are there. So I just,
So, sorry not to interrupt you, but what you're saying is that even though they're called expectations, if you do not meet those expectations, you still have the same consequences as you would if you broke the rule.
Exactly.
Correct.
Yes.
yeah, so like the expectation is to keep your hands to yourself, but if you break if you're like a level 3 offense or 2 offense where you're actually fighting, then there is consequences for that action. So the expectation is that you keep your hands to yourself, but if you break those expectations for fighting, then there is a consequence to that action, which could be a level of detention, suspension, etc. So.
Jeff?
I think we're talking semantics here.
I have a question though.
Just a second, Tom. Jeff has.
I think we're trying to keep this consistent with the PBIS program, which is not just for Keystone Central, it's for all schools across the state. an expectation, whether you call it an expectation, whether you call it a rule, the kids are used to this kind of terminology. I don't think what Randy's saying is exactly right. You're still going to get a consequence, whether you call it a rule, whether you call it expectations. We expect you to behave. We expect you to keep your hands to yourself. If you go up and punch somebody, then you're going to get thrown out or you're going to get some kind of consequence. I think we're reading a whole lot more into this than we have to. As far as what Butch is saying about the electronics, the cell phones, I agree with you. I think it's a distraction. I think it's I just read yesterday, there are, I think, 3 different representatives in Harrisburg that have talking about putting bills to ban cell phones statewide. It's not something that is just for here. It is something that's been talked about, and there are a lot of districts that have done away with them. I've been in favor of that myself, because for the reason that Butch said, but that's a whole huge conversation. And we can't do that right now. We have to discuss that. And if you're going to put it in, that has to be phased in. You have to get feedback from parents and teachers and students and everybody. I mean, they have to know that up front before going in. If that was something we were going to do, we should have talked about it back in March or April and prepared people for that kind of stuff. I don't disagree. I think that cell phones, the videoing and all that stuff that goes on creates a lot of problems. But that's a conversation for a whole other time and another day for down the road. We need to get this handbook out right now. I think the parents, when they read that, expectations, whether it's rules or not, I think they're going to get the idea. And I think the kids know, because they know what the expectations are, whatever we call them. So I think we're overthinking it greatly. I think we need to pass this, get it out to the people. And if you want to go back and start talking semantics, do it later. But like Roger said, do you want to make an amendment to it later on? I think it's kind of a tempest in a teapot, but
Tom, go
Get it
ahead.
out.
So how long we've been working on this handbook for this year? Anybody got an answer for that?
So I'm trying to think of how to answer. I know that the staff has been working on it. I know principals started working on it in the springtime. And then there were tweaks and other changes made throughout the summer.
Okay, so we've been working on it all summer long, and are we just now getting to discuss what's actually in it?
Typically what happens is it gets presented in a work session, which was last week. And we heard some commentary last week, and we're kind of going through some of that in more detail this week.
Okay, well, because I'm curious. I mean, it seems like Butch is very much against the hats and the cell phones, and Chris is very much against the language of expectations. And why wasn't any of this taken care of back in the early days of this handbook? I mean, Jeff's saying push it through, but why wasn't this taken care of prior? I mean, I'm sure that Butch felt the same way about the hats last year. And I don't know when hats were allowed to be worn in the building anyways. And one other thing with the clarification on the words of expectations, do we have rules for staff or do we have expectations?
Honestly, I'd have to look at policy. I'm not sure exactly which way that's worded.
Because if we have rules for staff, but expectation for students, what kind of example does that set? I mean, if it's rules for adults, it should be rules for students. If it's expectations for adults, then I guess it's expectation for students, but I can't understand why we have a conflict there. And the hat deal, Butch, that's complete disrespect wearing hats. I agree completely. And cell phones too. I mean,
Okay.
I
So,
remember when we were in school, we weren't allowed to wear hats. When you walked into the office on base, you weren't allowed to wear a hat. Why are they all of a sudden allowed to wear hats?
if you're done, Tom, Chris has something. Go ahead, Chris.
Go ahead.
In the section I'm talking about, one of them, rules and expectations. I'm not gonna read the whole list, but the first one, that is a rule now that we're gonna change to an expectation, is wrestling, karate, tackling, and horseplay are not allowed during recess periods. And the other one, going with you, Butch, that is crossed out and gonna be removed, is hats must be removed upon entering a building. So we're removing pertinent rules that are important.
I'd like to make a comment on
Right.
what Chris
Go ahead,
just
Roger.
stated. The expectation of keeping your hands to yourself. Well, by doing that, if you start wrestling, if you start fighting, you start doing any of those things that you just listed, what's the common denominator? Putting your hands on someone else, correct? Okay, so just shortening that down by that. Okay, the deal with the hats, yeah, I'm not too thrilled with that one either. Because it makes it difficult to actually pinpoint somebody. However, sometimes that is a good thing because then you can pinpoint somebody. Because everybody knows this kid has this type of hat. This kid wears this kind of hat. But I know that was one of the things that we looked at in the institution. And that was, you don't want to have that stuff because it covers people's faces. So. Butch?
Nothing else. I'm sorry, Bill, go ahead.
Yeah, I think words mean things. I think rules, a rule is a specific word with a specific meaning, and I think there's a place for it. I think expectations implies a leeway. As for I fully agree with you, Butch, that there shouldn't be hats, there shouldn't be hoods, there shouldn't be cell phones, there shouldn't be earbuds. And I don't think it's such, we can make it a lot more complicated than what, but to me, that's a quick fix. Nothing has to be done other than say, you can't do these things. Period. And, the only question I have is back to what Randy said, gave as his example. But you brought it up, Butch, they all have laptops, so I don't know, I'm a moron on the computer. Can they not do on their laptops what you were saying they could do on their cell phones?
Oh, I believe that there are some things that you can. There's got to the point of further discussion with that because it changed on a dime. Although, just making that happen, there's a ripple effect. And so the ripple effect could be long lasting into the school year. You know what I mean? Because all of a sudden this is going to be unacceptable. And then it's going to be constant, the principals chasing after infractions one after the other, instead of taking the time to set that rule or expectation and then announcing it to the public and having that all set so everybody knows we're on the same page up front, and so, yeah, I'm not disputing that. Are there things they can do? Absolutely. But I just think that it warrants a little bit more conversation before you launch that. Because a lot of school districts, when they do talk about these kind of things, it's a process where parents are involved, the community is involved, there's a discussion, and then that's set out. So at this point in the game, they're going to be here in a week. So
I can live with if we follow our policy, like electronic policy, if we follow that policy to a T, and every teacher is instructed to follow that policy to a T, that'd be the first step. Then we can work on, you can work on it for next year, but that's the first thing, follow the policy to a T.
I have one more question, if I can.
Go ahead, Tom.
Is the IT guy there? Is Colin or anybody sitting in the room?
Yeah,
Yes, Colton is here.
Colton is.
Can we ask him a question about cell phone requires cell data? Laptops require Wi-Fi. Can we have limited Wi-Fi as to what these students can access through Wi-Fi? Because if they're using their laptops, they're not making phone calls.
and we already have that on our laptops, they can only look at certain things, so there's
Okay,
there's
so
certain
that means
sites, yeah, there's certain sites they can't get on. I
that
think
means that if
Facebook's
we
on
take
there,
their
it'll-
phones away from them, they can't chat with their buddy next door because their laptop's not going to allow them to because of the Wi-Fi. But the cell phone would allow them to. So if you take the cell phone away, you limit the Wi-Fi, you've now basically cut the cord for their communication with their buddies. Am I wrong?
Colton's gonna answer that. Thank you.
Absolutely. For the most part, you would cut off their communications. However, they would still, especially at the 9 through 12 level, they would still have access to district email where they could email back and forth to each other, where we could actually create another issue.
Okay. Well, I mean, I was knowing what I know about technology, those were the questions that I came to as far as limiting their access. So
All right,
just a thought.
if nothing else, roll call vote, please.
I just have one last thing. Sorry, Butch. Is there any way that we could put out feelers with the teachers on how they feel about us banning cell phones? Like, do they feel that it's a good idea? Do they feel that it's too much of a distraction? Or, is there any way we can get their input on, would it be too hard for them to police it? Would it cause more distraction for them? So on and so forth.
Holly, I think that's definitely part of the work that we would have to do if if the board decides that the district is going to enter into a cell phone ban. I think we do need to gather some data from teachers as well as parents and paras and administrators that have to enforce it and that sort of thing. We'd have to get all that information.
Mhm. Oh, good question, Paul.
But- Okay, again, roll call vote, please.
Dr. Baldino,
No.
Mr. Cannon,
No.
Ms. Donahue,
No.
Mr. Elling,
I will say this. I'm gonna vote yes. But I also feel that we should be going back in and, like I said previously, looking at these things, trying to correct them, and then we can do an update to this handbook. That way, we're all on the same page.
So that's a yes.
That's a yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Knopf,
No,
Ms. Lynch,
So, no.
Mr. Scott,
No.
Ms. Smith. Yes. Three yeses, 6 noes.
okay, so we can get back and have it. We done for next meeting. We'll put out the updates that we can and go from there and move on. And Roger, I'm gonna gladly give you back control. It took us a half hour to do one item.
Thanks, Butch.
You did a good job.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for your information, all of D was put forward with the exception of 1, 2, 8, and 9.
Seven.
So one point on 7, on the public agenda, there is no number 7. If you log in, only if you're logged into the system can you see number 7. So I don't think we can talk about number 7 unless the board adds another agenda item on. Because it's not, the public agenda does not have number 7 visible. So we can certainly add it on.
Okay.
Okay,
Should do a
well,
table,
in order for us to do this and we add it on, if we don't add it on, is that gonna cause a problem
So we'd have to do a
with,
special
with the
meeting.
state? Roger,
Mhm.
okay,
I'll make a motion that we add an item. D, what do they have for 7?
There's nothing, it
Okay.
goes from 6
It is
to 8.
decent.
I'm gonna add, I'd like to make a motion, we add D7, the Keystone Central School District Emergency Operation Plan to the agenda.
Second,
I'll say.
I have a motion and a second. Okay, can I get a roll call vote, please? Go ahead, hold on, go ahead.
Thank you. Just, may you actually say what the title is, because if you numerically,
I did say.
He did
Keystone
just say
you did?
that.
I'm so
Keystone
sorry.
He did just
Central
say
School
that.
District Emergency Operation Plan.
oh, you did, okay, thank you, okay, I just, okay, thank you so much.
You think voice vote?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
voice vote.
Mr. Cannon,
Well, no, hold on.
those in favor.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, now it's added on.
Okay, now it's added on.
We don't have approval for 2, 7, 8, and 9, so we need motions for those. I'll make a
Okay.
motion, we approve D2, the disclosure of salary information.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'm not
are
sure
we
what we're
for
voting
or
on.
against it? Is it a motion to disclose it or a motion not to disclose? That's all it says on the agenda is we'll discuss it.
Yeah.
There's no actual for or against in the agenda.
Oh,
Can. Go ahead. I'll amend my motion for non-disclosure of salary information. So it'll
So
be
you're
not
moving-
disclosing.
You're moving that we do not disclose.
Correct. I'm making a motion that we do not disclose salary information.
May I ask a quick question?
Yes.
Or is the motion that we do not disclose salary information in the case where we are transferring one staff member to another position without any change in their salary?
Actually, I think it's just we need to discuss it more.
on table.
Well, I mean,
I'd make a motion to pull it.
let me, I have
Table.
to pull my motion
Yeah.
first. I'm gonna pull my motion for D2.
I move that we table item number 2, disclosure of salary information until a
I'll
future
second
date.
it.
The next,
Got a motion and a second for.
Motion and a second?
Who was the first one? Who was the second?
Bill and Chris,
Bill and Chris.
those in favor,
All right.
all those in favor.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, that takes.
Opposed? All right.
Okay, now we're gonna move on to these
Number 7 is next, right?
I need number 7.
D7, the Keystone Central Emergency Operation Plan.
Yeah, that's the one the public can't see.
Correct.
But that's the one we just added
Right.
to. So,
My class is gonna read it. Yeah. Basically what it is, the approval of the. Is that gonna help? We outline the procedures for responding to emergencies to ensure student and staff safety. Plan reflects current safety protocols and collaboration with local emergency agencies. We have to review it and pass it in August.
Second,
okay, I have a motion and a second. Discussion? Go ahead, Elizabeth.
thank you so much. I just want to make sure if anyone's out there is listening and you'd be the best person to explain this, or Chris, the reason why we had to add it is because it's an emergency situation and the public doesn't see it because it is a safety and security issue related, correct?
That is correct.
Okay,
The-
just want to make sure.
If,
everyone-
if this was to go out to the public, there's certain things
Right.
that are in that
That are safety
that,
and
want everyone
that
to-
we cannot,
So
Thank
we're
you.
voting on a confidential document. is that
Right.
What you're saying?
correct.
All right.
Yes. And it's not an emergency to do it. The state says it has to be done in the August meeting.
So we do it every year in August.
Right.
It's done every year in August. All we're doing is voting on a plan that we have in place in case an emergency occurs in the school district.
Right.
Because of the nature of this document, we can't discuss it in public
Right,
because we don't want people to know what our plans are.
right. That's why they
Exactly.
didn't see it.
That
Okay,
is either what goes in confidential document.
Right.
yeah, Robert's rules, yeah.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right.
With that said, we're passing it. And Randy, you want to go from there?
Yeah, just to jump off of this, just to give a public notice that next Thursday, we have a safety and security committee meeting, and we're gonna do it hybrid style a little bit, like the first half hour, we're gonna have it open to the public for like a beginning of the year kickoff, some data review from like the previous year, stuff like that. The second half, then we do have some things that we have to discuss that will move into an executive session that would be confidential in nature. So I just wanted to make that announcement.
All right.
Is-
Elizabeth?
Will there be a Zoom that we can?
It'll be operate like any other,
Like any other meeting?
just the first half hour will operate like
That's great.
any other meeting.
That's wonderful. Congratulations. Great.
Okay. We done discussing it?
Yep.
All right, well then, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
I'd like to move D8 and to retain David Lindsay as our solicitor.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Discussion?
Yeah. Let me open it up here because there's a question I had on it. Down on the bottom of page 1. This all started back when we were asking about why is there no contract? And we've discussed it through and through and through. And back in July 24th of 2019, there was a Bollinger Law firm that we kind of did the same thing for. That was a letter of renewal for legal services. But it stepped out the legal services. It says special legal advice relating to areas of technology such as internet, computer, information technology, right to know law issues, general legal advice. It spelled out what they were doing. And this one we're doing today, it really doesn't. It's very vague. And if you go down to the bottom of page 1, the paragraph from the bottom reads, because of the broad nature of legal issues confronting school districts, if I am unable to accomplish any legal service requested due to various issues, including legal claims outside of my area of expertise, I will refer the district to outside attorney as per the needs of the district. I'd like to know what his area of expertise is, and just so that I'm clear on it. And then I didn't understand the sentence that said, I will communicate using various media and electronic methods, which will not necessarily be free from interception and altercation, even though all attempts will be made to keep such communication confidential. Both parties must understand the precarious nature of communications. Does that mean we're not using private stuff to transfer info? And just what is the area of expertise? Is David just going to say, okay, we have a case here and we ship it to that person, this case goes to this person? Is it acting like a middleman?
Okay, so like it was stated previously, he deals with the normal everyday type issues that we
Okay.
deal with, all right? There are some lawsuits that we ask him to work for us
Mhm.
to see what he can do. And he's done a great job with all of those. As far as doing things outside of his purview, we're looking at, let's say, special education. That is not his forte.
Right.
That's why he would, ship that out, or he would refer us
Right.
to use a special ed lawyer. So, I mean, those are the things. I mean, if he put down everything that he does on a daily basis, okay, well, I did this, he'd have a list about 10 pages long,
Okay,
I'm sure.
I don't have a problem
So-
with David at all. I was just curious of what he does. Because we don't know. This is the first time this has come up with us. So I'm just asking.
He does the day-to-day legal stuff that the
Okay.
superintendent requests.
Okay,
Or he will answer questions of a legal nature for the superintendent
That's
or
fine.
myself.
all right. That's what I was curious.
Okay. All right. Any other questions, comments? Elizabeth?
Yes, I still feel very strongly that consistency with all the other contractors for solicitors that we use, we have contracts. And I honestly don't understand, and I'm afraid I may never understand, why we don't have a contract with a solicitor who oversees the legal issues for the whole Keystone Central School District. I do not have a problem. It is the contract. There's no contract here.
Anybody else? Okay. With that being said, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Cannon?
Yes.
Ms. Donahue?
Polly?
Just trying to reconnect my audio. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Mr. Elling?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Knopf?
Yes.
Ms. Lynch?
No,
Mr. Scott?
I'm gonna say yes with reservations because we should have a contract. We do with everything else we do.
Ms. Smith? Yes. Dr. Baldino?
Yes.
8 yeses, 1 no.
This time I'd like to move D9, the Chapman Township request.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Discussion? Butch?
Basically what this is, the bridge going across the railroad tracks going from 122 toward the school. The township owns it, the township put it in, I think it was 1969. From the request from the railroad, the township's been responsible for maintenance through those years. A few years ago, they had some issues with it, that had to do some major repairs that put a large financial burden onto the township. The township's requesting that because it's the only access pretty much, well, there is another road, there was an accident on a month ago where a car was hit by a train, but there's limited access other places, but it's the main access into Farwell from 120 and into the school. So they're trying to get letters of support to send to Senator Dush and Representative Borowitz, that's asking them to help trying to get PennDOT to review it and maybe look at taking it over. So all we're doing is send a letter of support to the township, requesting the Senator Dush and Representative Borowitz move this forward to PennDOT. So that's what this bottom line is. They want support.
Any other discussion? Chris?
So basically what you're saying is the township has to finance that bridge.
Yes.
Okay, because we have a similar situation in Logan Township. Where the bridge is got derated so far down that a fire truck can't even go over it. We're doing the same thing but we also approached the county because they have some funds to help. Is anybody, do you know if they've approached them? I'm all for sending a letter to Borowitz and Dush.
I don't know if they've done it recently. I know they did it a couple years ago when because of the condition of the bridge, when they started fixing it and repairing it, there was a lot more structural damage to it than they were led to believe at first. It cost them, I think it was an additional $300,000. So they went to the county then for help and talk about it. So I don't know if they've done it recently, but
Is
yeah.
that area up there in GT's area also?
Yes.
Include him in on that letter.
Okay, so we're kind of straying away from
Okay.
sending the letter. So, all right, any other discussion on this? Elizabeth?
Yes, I understand and I empathize with them. Municipalities end up owning bridges from legacy issues decades ago. And reaching out to the representatives is always a great idea. I would ask that you, the president, or Dr. Redmond, you as a supervisor, contact Chapman Township, please, and just find out what the condition of the bridge is. And then
Oh, sorry. Butch already knows. He's a representative from that area, so,
it's not real, yeah,
yeah,
it's not
but-
just,
yeah.
just so we.
If you have a question, you can ask him that later.
The condition is good enough that school buses can go across it. They just did major repairs on it a couple years ago. It's in good shape. They just don't want to be burdened again if something major comes up in the future. So they're looking down the road.
Okay, that's a big.
Okay,
Thank
all
you.
right, so let's get back on track here
That's
now.
a big difference. Good.
All right,
Roger,
yes, Tom.
I make a motion that we send this letter. Is that what you're looking for?
I already made it.
No, we already made the motion and it's been
Oh.
seconded, Tom. Thank you, though.
I was gonna say, let's speed that one up a little bit because that needs to be done.
Okay.
His name is Cannon.
All right.
Oh, it's PennDOT.
So, all right. With that being said, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
I,
Opposed? Motion passes. All right, Butch,
I like to move E1 through 4.
do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
I like to move F1 through 9. Unless someone would like to something pulled. I'm moving F1 through 9.
I'd like number one
We
pulled.
need a second first.
Second.
Oh,
Okay,
Okay. yeah, motion.
motion and a second. Go ahead, Chris.
on the bills for
No, this-
payment,
We need to, what do we want to pull first?
number one.
Okay,
Well,
anything else?
no,
Anybody have anything else? Okay,
So the motion is in 2 through 9 is what we're going to pass.
motion is 2 through 9, correct.
and this isn't,
Just wait a minute.
all right,
2 through 9 is what we're going to vote on right now.
okay.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
I'd
that
like to
passes.
move-
Go ahead, Butch.
I'd like to move F1.
Okay,
I'll second it.
okay, we have a motion and a second. Discussion, Chris.
Yes. I sent Joni a list of some stuff I had questions on and she did reply. But the answers are not clear, so there's only 2 or 3 things I want to ask about just to get clarified, and I think you could probably do it. On page 3,
On which one?
I asked her about the global consultants. One of them was $218,310. The second one was $12,631.20
Yes,
for a bunch of laptops and the covers for them.
correct.
I asked her, I said, is this laptops and how many? She wasn't able to tell me how many. It's not that big a deal. She replied back, it's in accordance with the 5-year technology plan. Student laptops are rotated for each grade level, sorry. Do we do, like, is that like a revolving, like 1 year you do grade 12 through 9 and something like that, and then the next years you do other ones, or you do all the grades at
No.
one shot?
We do a few grades every year and that kind of rotates through. So
Okay,
we do
that's
different
what I was
grades next
wondering.
year.
On page 3 also, and I asked this last week, but we never got a real clear answer on it. On the GP Audio Logic LLC, they did sound. I asked her about the amount spent for that. And I said, is this paying for a service or buying the equipment to replace it? Because I know a couple months ago, we talked about buying all new equipment for the football fields and that.
Which would be far more than these. This was just for the graduation ceremonies, one for Buck.
Okay, but if we already bought all that equipment and put it in, why are
It
we?
hasn't been, so this was, the bill is for what happened in June and the equipment wasn't.
Okay, so this was a service we
Yes.
bought
Yes.
and not the equipment.
Yes.
That's what I wanted to know there. And then I asked her, the last thing was about, the 3 entries for Kingspry. One of 1841.76, one of 76.85, and one for 1,050. I asked her, is this one case and what was it for? She said 1841.76 was for training for special ed and truancy for both KCSD and the county.
Yes.
And the other 2 were for separate special ed cases. Are those special ed, okay, we'll get back to number 1. The training for special ed and truancy, did we pay for the county to do that also then?
Well, we brought in someone from Kingspry to explain, to make sure that both the county truancy and CYS and our district employees all have the same and consistent information about truancy as it applies to students with IEPs.
Okay. And then the 2 separate special ed cases, are they done then?
I can't speak to that. I'm not sure. I'd have to look more. I didn't look at the details of those 2.
Okay, because I'm just curious, is that, because the one at 76.85, that's pretty steep.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure.
Okay. I'd like to find out if we could get an answer on that
Sure.
for the board to know. It doesn't have to be a public,
Okay.
because that's obviously done. And then on page 5, it says parent contract 3,542.04. Is that second half of that one that we talked about the month before? And if it is that end that settlement?
I'm sorry, I was taking a note where
Oh.
you said where that was, where. on what
Remember
page?
back last
No,
month?
Yeah, I'm looking for where were you on this?
It's on page 5.
On page
Sorry.
5, thank you.
Page 5, we're at.
It
Chris.
goes to parent contract. Because they're out in alphabetical order now, they're easy to find.
It's not, I don't see it there.
It's not there on,
It's above the navigate, or, let me
Oh, I see
see.
it. Yes,
Do you
right.
see it?
Yep, I
Oh,
see it.
it's not. Oh, it's close, it's close.
Yes, I
Oh,
believe
yeah,
I
it's
believe
out
that
of-
is
it's
the
out of
second
order.
half of that.
That's the second half of the one we talked
I
about
believe so.
last month.
I believe so.
Do you know if that ends that settlement? Or is
It
that
was
something
just
that's
a payment
on,
contract for transportation for last year. So that closes that.
that
out.
closes that out?
Yes.
Okay, that was all I had.
But that's a contract that we'll probably have this year also, I assume. It's a
Not
I don't
necessarily.
know.
Okay, it's a transportation contract, for
Okay, yeah, is that gonna be a contract this year too then?
Has yet to be determined.
Okay. That's it.
All right. Any other questions? All right, roll call vote, please.
Ms. Donahue?
Yes.
Mr. Elling?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Knopf?
Yes.
Ms. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Smith? Yes. Dr. Baldino?
Yes.
Mr. Cannon?
No.
Eight members, yes, one no.
Motion passes.
I'd like to move G1 personnel.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Discussion, Butch?
Because my wife is listed on there as a substitute teacher, I'm going to abstain.
Okay. Chris?
Down, I'm trying to get to the page.
Which one are you looking at? Straight personnel, advanced degrees, or the ESS
The
subs?
regular personnel.
Okay.
Let me get to the bottom here. I had it wrote down, I thought.
What does it pertain to?
It's on the bottom of page 2. Sorry, I went too far. It says employment of Caroline Stilley for a personal care assistant communications facilitator. What is that position? Because it says it's a new position.
It's a
I'm
position.
curious, we've never talked about that as a group about it. I don't know if it went through personnel or not.
So personnel care assistants, there are occasionally students with IEPs that require basically one-to-one support. And some of those folks are personal care assistants. And so because the requirement comes from their IEP, the district really doesn't have the option as to whether or not to hire someone for that position. We just have to hire someone for that position because the IEP conveys a federal mandate to provide services to that student.
Okay. But we don't have those folks here already, or? Because it says new position, that's
Sure.
why I'm wondering.
This often happens when a student moves into our district
Mhm.
and has that kind of one-on-one provision in their IEP. Then we have to hire another person to support that.
Does that position get all the full benefits and
Yes.
the retirement and all that too?
Yes.
Okay.
As per the ESP contract. That's the letters I'm looking for earlier this time.
It's a support position.
Support contract.
That's
Okay, anything else?
Yes, I have one question, and
Go ahead,
it may be easy to answer. I don't know. So again, in personnel on page 3, the beginning of that list says approving the following drivers and aides for Susquehanna Transit. Why are we approving hiring their drivers? Why is that not falling back on Susquehanna Transit?
Per our contract with Susquehanna, the board has oversight, although they do report to all their evaluations. Everything is taken care of by Susquehanna. Part of the contract is that the board will see the list and has general oversight and can approve drivers as you see in front of you right now.
I mean, do we know anything about them other than their names?
We do not.
Okay, so, okay. Then I don't know how we can approve them if we don't know. I mean, Susquehanna should be approving them, not us. That's what I'm getting at. If we don't know anything about them, we can't approve them. Susquehanna has to.
To my knowledge, this is the list of folks that Susquehanna has forwarded to us to approve because they've already approved them. Again, it's kind of the way our contract, our agreement with Susquehanna is written. Randy, do you have more to add to that?
Yeah, and just to add on to that too, there are times where they'll send stuff through like HR and there could be questionable hires that they made on their end, and we have the right to vet those and turn those away. So what you get just to put a stamp on what they approved is what we vetted, saying that they didn't have any kind of issues or background, situations to say, yeah, we're okay with the list that Susquehanna has hired.
Okay. All right. I mean, it sounds, I don't know. I don't really agree that we should be involved in it. I don't know any of them people. I don't have anything against any of them people, but I just don't think that we should be involved in because they have their standards and we approve their standards.
Let me ask this, Randy. So basically, they approve the list, they forward it to us. And then at that point, we take a look and we vet these individuals as a district.
But we don't know anything about them.
Now, the HR department gets their records, like to make sure their clearances are all clean, to make sure that they don't have anything else. So basically, when there's a red flag, then they automatically will just say there's no need to, they could still work for Susquehanna, they just can't drive for the school district. So like all of these people that you would see, would all their clearances would check out, they would be clean across the board.
You're saying our HR department, not theirs.
Yeah, their HR department screens them and hires them based on their qualifications. And then once they get hired for them, then they'll send them to us and our HR department, and they'll keep record of all the things and look to see, does everything look copacetic for a school district? And if there's anything off-putting, then we just go back to them and say, this person you can keep for your business, but we need somebody else to drive a bus in that spot.
Okay, so our HR is involved in this.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, because I mean, otherwise they're just throwing a list of names out and saying, "Here, these are approve these people."
Right, and they're vetting them on behalf of you because you've empowered the school district or the HR department to say you are following protocols when it comes to clearances and laws and everything else. And so that vetted list then comes to you, knowing that the people that you hired for those positions have vetted that and done that.
Okay, that's fine. I'm good with that. I just wasn't sure as to why we were approving them hiring their people, not them approving it. That's all.
Okay, thanks, Tom.
Yep.
Go ahead, no, she's first. Go ahead.
No.
Elizabeth, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Just something to consider for the future. And Tom, this conversation comes up. I still don't understand the process. And I thank you for the explanation, Randy. But if we're paying the contractor, maybe that's something we can look at in the contract next year with Susquehanna. They do a great job. But why are we also paying the service? Why doesn't Susquehanna just do all the services? Because then we're also paying for a service for our staff. We're either contracting with an employer or we're not contracting with an employer. So maybe just look at the contract and discuss this next year.
Basically, they are hiring the drivers.
Yes.
They go through, they make sure that they meet the transportation company's requirements.
Mhm.
Okay, at that point, if they pass there, then it comes to us for us to do a secondary vetting to verify that these people are able to be around our students, that they don't have anything in there that might have slid through,
Mhm.
with, Susquehanna. So, I mean, it's actually good that we see this and we have our HR department vet these people. If I'm not mistaken, I believe before there was somebody that was on here that we ended up having an issue with and told them that we can't have that individual.
Okay. Oh,
So that's why I'm saying that.
Okay.
All right, hold on.
could I-
Bill?
No, I'm sorry. Is the discussion on this Susquehanna thing finished?
Oh, no, that's what I thought you wanted to discuss.
No, I'm sorry. I jumped the gun. I'm
Oh.
sorry.
Okay,
Well, I'm just requesting that the board consider the next year when the contract comes up to give everyone enough time so we can discuss this. Because we could have standards or
Okay.
not placed in the contract that we want. Okay, so that's all I'm asking right now.
Okay. All right. Any other discussion?
Nope.
No? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tom.
No.
Nope, I don't have
Oh.
any. I'm good with, I just needed to know how we were supposed to approve them,
Okay,
knowing nothing about them. And
All
now
right.
that I know the HR department is involved. Now I'm okay with it.
okay. All right. With that, Chris?
I got one more question just for Dr. Redmond. Down on the bottom of page 5, there's a list of folks there and it says approve the following to receive a mentor stipend of 500 per mentee for the 24-25 school year.
Yes.
Is that, they get $500 for each kid they mentor, or is that just for the year thing?
This is for staff. So these are mentoring new staff members that are coming.
Oh, okay, okay. I didn't know if it was that or helping kids or what.
Yeah. Whenever you get a brand new teacher, instead of just saying, here you go,
Right.
they have a mentor that actually guides them through and make sure that they're doing what they need to be doing according
Okay.
to the district
All right, cool.
policies.
Thank
All
you.
right?
Thank you.
Okay. That being said,
We
Oh.
finished, I have a question if
okay,
If,
something else on
yeah,
the,
yeah.
okay, go ahead.
if it was dealt with while I was out of the room, I apologize, but at the bottom of page 2, it looks like we're creating a new position. And why are we doing that if, you know,
We,
considering our financial straits, we're trying to cut back on staff?
that is one of the things that actually Chris questioned. And it was answered that whenever we get an individual that comes in with an IEP, okay, some people need to have one-to-one peers, okay? So if we have this individual, go ahead, Frank.
I wouldn't say peers, but so
Right,
that
yeah.
they need, some students need an adult with them full-time. And that's mandated in their individualized education plan.
And that's the case here?
And that's the case.
All right, fine, thank you.
Yeah. Okay,
Gotta
anything
do what
else?
you gotta do.
Unfortunately, yes. Okay, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Elling,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Knopf,
I abstain.
Ms. Lynch,
No,
Mr. Scout,
No.
Ms. Smith? Yes. Dr. Baldino,
No,
Mr. Cannon,
Yes.
Ms. Donahue,
Yes.
6 yeses, 3 nos, and 1 abstain.
No, that's not right.
that's a,
That's
that's
not
an
right.
incorrect
Five,
count.
three,
Three, four,
Must be
five,
5-3.
I'm sorry.
5-3 and 1.
5, 3, and 1.
Yeah, 5, 3, and 1. sorry.
Okay. Motion passes. Okay,
Okay, I'd like to move H1 athletics and student activities personnel list.
okay, I've got a motion and a
Second.
second. Discussion. Elizabeth?
yes. Just a quick reminder. When we did the work session last week, we had agreed, Butch, excuse me, for the clubs, we were gonna see the number of students per club at the end of the term, and it just wasn't on that report, so it's sort of related to this. It was item, K1 from the work session.
We don't have any students in the clubs yet.
Right, but it was for the last report that we got, the last work session.
The report we got last time was the same thing. This report for clubs, just lists all the officers.
Yes, but we did get a report on how many students were in each club at the end. of
Because they're
last
not in there
We're
yet.
not there yet.
May,
You
but
did,
for
we did,
May.
yes, that report was given.
It was?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
my mistake. I
That was for the end of
apologize.
Yeah, in
24,
June.
25
Okay.
year.
In June, that report was.
It was given.
Thank you. Okay, my apologies. I was wrong.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, moving on. I1, Act 93 MOU for Assistant Principal at Bucktail Campus.
Okay,
Second.
got a motion and a second. Discussion.
I like number one and number two pulled.
I just moved number one.
He just moved number
Oh, I
one.
moved
Oh,
We didn't
okay,
do-
okay, I'm sorry.
We're discussing number one right now.
I asked that last meeting and I just want to clarify something. The dean position is being eliminated
Correct,
with that, with this move,
correct,
and there is not gonna come back or,
correct.
okay, and it's not gonna be named something else or anything. Okay, that was the only question I had, because I wanted to clarify, was it going away or wasn't it?
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
No.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion passes. Next.
Now we're gonna move I2. It's a ESP MOU for the PTO time.
Second.
It's just,
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Discussion.
basically what it is a contract with the support personnel to revamp their time from sick and vacation to just PTO, personal time off. Yes.
Okay,
I got
Chris,
questions.
go ahead.
This wasn't on the work session agenda, this just showed up. And I have a little difficulty voting for something that we really didn't have time to even talk about to get it explained to us what it was. And I started reading through it and I see that this was voted on and done on June 1st of 24, and the contract is good till June 30th of 28. So are we amending the contract or
That's what the
are we
MOU
writing a new one?
No, the MOU
That's what
just
the
makes
MOU
adjustments.
states.
Okay. And I'm curious why. I've never heard of a part-time employee getting PTO time, personal leave, getting sick. I'm taking it that must be part of a contract.
So our 210-day employees all receive sick time and some level of personal time as outlined in the collective bargaining agreement that we have with them. So because of that delineation between personal time and sick time, sometimes they run out of one or the other, and because of the rules, then they have to take uncompensated leave. So rather than having the members take uncompensated leave, we thought if we put it together, it's just PTO for both of those things together. The number of days is the same. They're just all in one lump rather than being those two different categories.
Do those people get all the full benefit package and everything too, being part-time?
As per according to the collective bargaining agreement. So it's not across the board. They have some things yes, some things no.
Okay. The last thing I have to ask is, I started digging on it so I could learn something about it. And on the Keystone Central Education Support Professionals Association, the only thing I found on it was that this was unanimously passed with a vote of 14-0. And it said that the district part of it, they anticipated to vote on what we're doing right now, July 17th of 25. So if it was voted on to do it then, why are we just learning about it the night we have to vote? Why didn't we learn about it last week? Why wasn't it on the list?
I think it was just a clerical error that it didn't make it on the list in the last meeting.
I really like to dig into this to learn about it.
It's just taking their total number of days between sick time and personal time and combining it into PTO. That's all it does.
I have a question, Frank.
Sure.
Maybe this will make it clearer for other people also. Our staff has an allotted amount of time of PTO that they can have, a maximum time, correct?
Well, so it's in this particular contract, the way it reads right now, it's not called PTO. It's called either personal leave or sick leave.
Okay, so the personal leave, do they max out at a certain hour?
Yeah, it's explained a little bit further down there that,
Okay, so
in the contract, it talks-
when they max out on their annual, their personal leave,
Mhm.
because I'm thinking of my situations.
Okay,
So you max out on your personal leave. Your personal leave time rolls over to your sick time. And we're allowing that to happen, correct?
As far as gaining, you're talking from your contract, if you save more personal time and don't use your personal time, it'll roll on your sick leave. That's what you're referring to, Tom?
Yeah, if you save your personal time and you accumulate more than your allotted time per year, it rolls over into your sick time.
I'd have to look back at the contract to make sure of that. I guess I don't remember that off the top of my head.
So what I was just kind of reading there, any existing accumulated sick and personal leave balances remaining at the conclusion of the year converts over to PTO sick bank leave. So they're saying that anything you have at the end of the year, you're rolling over into your sick for the following year.
Can you tell me what part you're looking at?
Yep. I think it's page 2. It's page 2, number 5.
Okay. So this is just for the purposes of the converting or entering into this MOU. So they're
Right.
saying, so if you have sick and personal, if you have sick and personal right now at the end of the 2024 or 2025 contract year, anything that's left over will be shifted over and called PTO.
Sick.
Yeah, PTO sick bank leave. Yes.
Okay. So, which in turn helps these people out if they have a heart attack and they don't have any leave to use.
Yes.
Correct.
Where previously they were using, uncompensated
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So
That-
right now, as Colton was saying, if you ran out of sick time, you'd have to take uncompensated leave.
Right.
And so this is we're
You're
making,
allowing them to build a little bank of sick leave to
Yeah, allowing them to build a little bit of some
cushion.
reserve leave and also allowing them the flexibility to use that leave that they're given as they see fit, rather than just having a few personal days and a few sick days.
Okay.
They
Yep.
would have just one pool of days that they could use. And then there are stipulations on how many days that they can use out of the sick bank. They after a certain number of days, they would have to have a doctor's note that they couldn't take advantage of those days.
Okay. Yep. And it helps with the long-term situation.
Yes.
Okay. Does that help anybody that had questions about what it was about?
I just got one more thing. I like to
Okay,
add.
like, Chris, you had,
I understand it now. But I'm gonna put the onus on you, Dr. Redmond. From now on, get this stuff in ahead of time so that we can talk about it. So we could have avoided all this.
okay,
okay,
That's it.
I'm sorry.
Butch,
The other thing else I'd like to add to this, add on to what Tom was saying, one other thing it will do, probably starting in September, meetings, you'll start seeing someone puts in for uncompensated leave, and this is probably the group that does it the most. Hopefully we'll avoid that because it causes all kind of complications as far as their retirement and everything with uncompensated dates. So we'll stop seeing that on here, we hope. Or I
Or
hope
at least-
so.
at
You
least
will stop
reduce
seeing it.
Yes.
I won't.
okay, Bill?
Yeah, just just one question. Are there any potential negative economic consequences to us from doing this?
It's the same number of days. It's just configured differently. So there's no economic downside for the district.
It
Okay.
doesn't cost us any
Doesn't cost
more or
any more.
anything else. Okay.
Elizabeth?
Yeah, again, considering this, did this go through personnel first to weed all this stuff out?
I don't remember it. Do you remember it, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm remembering that we discussed this.
Yes.
You had
At some-
personal
at
meetings.
some
I don't
point,
remember it at a
one-
personnel committee.
I don't know that it came in this form. We did talk about the idea.
We talked about the
we-
idea, but we
s-
didn't see the.
Yeah, because we started with our security officers, we made the shift to PTO. And then we had discussed the idea of also doing that with the support group.
Okay.
All right.
I had one last question.
Elizabeth?
So, someday my question is, when they leave, we don't have what sounds very derogatory, but this is the word that's out there, use it or lose it contracts. So when they leave, it makes no difference for their final payout if they have six sick days or 6 personal days, the amount of money, or whether they have 12 sick days. There's no difference in that at all, right? The final payout, right?
Let me check to make sure I understand what you're saying. When a member leaves
Employment.
employment, there is provisions to pay out for any accumulated sick days. And so this MOU would change that to any accumulated PTO days.
So it's increasing the number of days that they walk away with, or does
No,
it?
No.
It doesn't.
Okay, that's
No.
that was very critical. Okay, yeah, I think I was just segueing off of what Dr. Baldino started.
Okay. There's no further discussion on that?
I
Jeff?
just think that all this is doing is giving them more flexibility,
Well, we want,
really. And I think I think that's the whole idea behind it, is to give them, rather than just to give them those days and they use them. And when they're gone, they're gone. If I'm understanding it correctly, Colton, is that right?
Absolutely. That was the initial conversation, was for the flexibility.
Right.
You're not giving them extra days. You're just allowing them to have alternate use of their days.
Exactly.
You are absolutely correct. It is the same number of days either way. We are just changing the way they are labeled in the way that they can use them.
Yep.
Understand it now. We didn't have a chance to
The state
before.
did that to you.
Okay. What?
The state did that to you.
You're welcome.
Oh, yeah, I know. All right. So with that being said, Elizabeth?
last thing, I 1000% support, and I say this in the most respectful way, boots on the ground, folks. Okay? Keep our schools going. But I will say this, please, I've requested this multiple times, year after year after year. Please stop with the 11th hour. If they had something ready to go back in July and we just found out about it now, that please don't let that gap happen. Please, let us have time to digest, learn about these things. It will help with everything.
Okay.
I agree.
All right. With that being said, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion
Motion
passes.
to
I'd
adjourn.
like to move J1.
Yeah, well,
One
yeah.
adjournment.
Yeah, I think.
we're
done.
adjourned.